Marcus Hale had one simple goal when he stepped onto Galactic Concord Station for the first time. Do not cause a problem. The station was larger than any structure he had ever seen. It was not built like a human city, with straight lines and clear corners. Instead, it curved and folded in on itself like a living thing. Walls shimmered with soft light, changing color depending on who walked past. Gravity felt steady one moment and slightly tilted the next, as if the station was gently breathing. Marcus walked carefully, hands clasped behind his back, shoulders stiff. He wore the standard human diplomatic uniform, plain, gray, and intentionally boring. Humanity had decided early that looking harmless was better than looking impressive. Marcus agreed with that idea very much. He was not a soldier. He was not a diplomat either. He was a logistics assistant, sent to help manage supply schedules and paperwork for the new human embassy. If everything went well, no one would even remember his name. Around him moved beings from dozens of species. Some floated instead of walking. Some walked on four legs. Some were made of metal, crystal, or something Marcus could not identify at all. Many of them glanced at him with curiosity. A few stared openly. Humans were still new here. Marcus tried to keep his eyes forward. He had read the cultural guides. Staring could be rude. Pointing could be dangerous. Touching was almost always a mistake. "Just get to the transit lift," he muttered quietly to himself. The corridor ahead opened into a wide public concourse. It was busy, louder than the smaller hallways. Voices echoed in languages Marcus could not understand. Holographic signs hovered in the air, translating themselves automatically into simple symbols and basic human text. He stepped forward and the floor shifted. It was not dramatic, just a small gravity fluctuation, common on stations this old and complex. Marcus felt his weight pull slightly to the left instead of down. His foot slid half an inch. He stumbled. Marcus reached out instinctively, trying to steady himself. His hand brushed against something solid, very solid. Then he collided fully with it. There was a dull thud like running into a wall that could move. Marcus froze. Slowly, painfully, he realized what he had run into. It was the lower back and armored rear of a very tall alien woman. She stood at least a head taller than him, broad-shouldered, covered in dark red segmented armor that looked grown rather than built. Her posture was rigid, powerful, and utterly still. The concourse went quiet. Marcus stepped back so fast he nearly fell again. His face burned. I'm sorry," he said quickly, bowing his head a little. "I lost my balance. I didn't mean to." The alien turned. Her face was sharp and angular, with dark eyes that reflected light like polished stone. Two ridged horns curved back from her forehead, marked with symbols that glowed faintly. Her gaze locked onto Marcus with terrifying focus. "Do you want to die, human man?" she asked. Her voice was calm, too calm. Marcus swallowed. "No," he said honestly. A ripple of sound moved through the crowd. Some aliens stepped back, others leaned closer. A few activated recording devices. The alien woman straightened fully, towering over Marcus. The markings on her horns brightened. "You struck me from behind," she said. "You touched me without permission. You did not flee, you did not submit." Marcus blinked. "I apologized." The alien's eyes narrowed. "I am Commander Zyrakel of the Karesh Dominion," she said. "Your action is a challenge under our law." Marcus felt cold all over. "I promise you," he said carefully, choosing every word, "I did not challenge you. I barely know where I am." That earned another ripple of reaction from the crowd. Zyrakel studied him in silence. Her expression was not anger anymore. It was confusion. "You accept fault," she said slowly. "Yet you do not beg, you do not justify yourself, you do not show fear." Marcus thought about lying but decided against it. "I am afraid," he said. "I just don't think panic will help." That seemed to unsettle her more than shouting ever could. Before she could respond, armored station security drones moved in, forming a loose circle around them. The conquered station AI spoke through hidden speakers, its voice neutral and loud enough for everyone to hear. Attention! A cultural violation involving Karesh Dominion law has been detected. All parties are to remain in place. Marcus closed his eyes for half a second. So much for not causing a problem, he thought. Two Karesh honor guards approached, their armor darker and heavier than Zyrakel's. They carried long weapons that hummed softly, full of restrained power. "Commander," one guard said, "by Dominion tradition, this human is subject to immediate judgment." "I am aware," Zyrakel replied. She looked down at Marcus again. "Human man," she said, "state your name." "Marcus Hale." "Marcus Hale," she repeated, testing the sound. "You will come with us." Marcus hesitated only long enough to nod. Running would make everything worse. He had learned that much in training. As the guards moved to escort him, a human voice cut through the air. "Wait." Ambassador Elaine Porter stepped forward from the crowd, her expression tight but controlled. She was older than Marcus, with silver hair pulled back neatly and eyes that missed nothing. "This human is under diplomatic protection," she said. "Any dispute must go through official channels." Zyrakel turned to face her. "Your protection is not recognized in this matter." The ambassador held her ground. "Then recognize this," she said. "It was an accident. There was no intent, no insult." "In Karesh law," Zyrakel replied, "intent is irrelevant, audacity is not." Marcus felt every eye turn back to him. He remained standing, Zyrakel continued. He did not collapse, he did not avert his gaze, he spoke plainly. "That's just how humans are sometimes," the ambassador said. Zyrakel tilted her head slightly. "Then humans are stranger than reported." The station AI spoke again. "Cultural impasse detected." Recommendation: invoke Karesh Tribunal Observation Protocol. A murmur spread through the crowd. Marcus leaned toward the ambassador and whispered, "Is that bad?" She did not look at him. "It's not good." Zyrakel considered the suggestion. Finally, she nodded once. "The human will stand trial," she said. "Not for punishment, for understanding." The guards tightened their formation. Marcus's heart pounded, but he kept his face calm. He reminded himself to breathe. As he was led away through corridors that grew darker and more imposing, he realized something important. This was not just about him anymore. Every step he took, every word he had spoken was being watched, recorded, judged. Humanity had just made a first impression it could not take back, and it all started with a single, accidental step in the wrong direction. Marcus Hale had never been inside a prison that was not meant to scare people. This place was not loud. It was not dark in the usual way either. The corridor where he was taken was wide, clean, and lit with a steady red glow that seemed to come from the walls themselves. The air felt heavy, not hard to breathe but thick, like the station was watching him breathe. The Karesh guards walked on either side of him. They did not touch him, but Marcus felt like he was held anyway. Their presence was enough. He focused on his steps, slow, even, do not rush, do not hesitate. He remembered one line from the cultural guide, buried deep in a long document he had skimmed weeks ago. When unsure, show control. The guards stopped in front of a massive door shaped like a curved shield. Symbols burned across its surface, shifting slowly. The door opened without sound. Inside was a wide circular chamber. The floor was smooth black stone. The ceiling rose high above, disappearing into shadow. Around the edges stood figures of the Karesh Dominion, tall and armored, their eyes glowing faintly. At the center stood Commander Zyrakel. She looked unchanged, calm, solid, dangerous. Marcus was guided forward until he stood alone on a circular mark on the floor. The guard stepped back. The door sealed behind him. For a moment no one spoke. Then Zyrakel raised one hand. The symbols on the walls flared brighter. "Marcus Hale of Earth," she said. "You stand before the Karesh Tribunal under observation protocol. Your life is not forfeit yet." Marcus released a breath he had not realized he was holding. "Thank you," he said. Several of the car rests shifted at that. "You thank us," one voice said from the shadows. "You are not yet judged." "I know," Marcus replied, "but I'm still alive. That feels worth thanking." A low sound moved through the chamber. Marcus could not tell if it was anger or surprise. Zyrakel stepped closer. "You are either very brave," she said, "or very foolish." Marcus thought for a moment. "Probably foolish," he said, "but I try to be polite about it." That earned another reaction. This time it sounded almost like quiet laughter. Zyrakel studied him carefully. "You show no signs of dominance display," she said. "No ritual submission, no deception markers. Why?" Marcus shrugged slightly. "Because I don't know how, and pretending usually makes things worse." That answer seemed to matter. A different Karesh stepped forward, older by the look of his armor markings. "Commander," he said, "this human disrupts expectation. We must test intent through action." Zyrakel nodded. "Agreed." She looked back at Marcus. "Under Karesh law, when words fail, proof is demanded." Marcus swallowed. "What kind of proof?" "Endurance," she said. "Choice, response under pressure." The floor beneath Marcus shifted. A soft vibration moved up his legs. "The station has a damaged sector," Zyrakel continued. "An old maintenance ring, structural instability, environmental hazards, civilian presence." Marcus's eyes widened. "You want me to go there?" "You will accompany me," she said. "You will act as you choose, we will observe." "And if I refuse?" Marcus asked. "Then you die," she replied calmly. Marcus nodded once. "Okay." That single word echoed louder than any shout. Zyrakel's eyes narrowed again, but this time there was something else there. Interest. The chamber lights dimmed and the floor opened beneath them, revealing a transit platform. Moments later, they were moving. The damaged sector was nothing like the embassy halls. Lights flickered. Gravity shifted in uneven waves. The air was cold and thin. Emergency alarms pulsed softly in the distance. Marcus wore only his standard uniform. Zyrakel wore full combat armor. "You are unarmed," she noted. "Yes," Marcus said. "I don't usually carry weapons." "Why?" He thought about it. "Because most problems I deal with don't need them." "That is not a Karesh belief," she said. "I figured," Marcus replied. They moved through broken corridors, stepping around torn panels and drifting debris. Marcus felt his heart race, but his mind stayed focused. "Find stable footing. Check walls. Listen." A sudden tremor shook the corridor. A section of ceiling cracked. Zyrakel moved instantly, bracing the structure with her armored arms. Marcus did not think. He grabbed a fallen support rod and wedged it into place beside her. Their eyes met briefly. She did not pull away. Further in, they found civilians trapped behind a sealed blast door. Not Karesh, a mix of species, frightened, injured. "The safest path is withdrawal," Zyrakel said. "Stability is failing." Marcus looked at the door. Then at the civilians, then back at her. "They won't make it on their own," he said. "They are not of my dominion," she replied. Marcus nodded. "They're still people." Zyrakel said nothing. Marcus moved to the door, examining the control panel. It was alien, but damage patterns were familiar. Power, access, force. "This might take a bit," he said. "You risk collapse," Zyrakel warned. "I know." He worked carefully, fingers numb, ignoring the shaking floor. When the door finally opened, the civilians rushed out. One of them stumbled. Marcus caught them and nearly fell himself. Zyrakel steadied both of them without a word. As they moved back toward safer ground, the corridor behind them collapsed completely. Dust filled the air. They reached a secure zone moments later. Marcus collapsed against the wall, breathing hard. Zyrakel stood over him. "You chose risk over proof," she said. "Why?" Marcus looked up at her. "Because if I'm going to be judged, I'd rather it be for doing something right." Silence stretched between them. Far above, the station AI announced that the sector was sealed and casualties minimized. Zyrakel turned away slowly. "The tribunal will reconvene," she said. "Your actions will be weighed." As guards moved in to escort Marcus back, he realized something had changed. The way they looked at him was different now. Not as prey, not as challenger, but as something they did not yet understand. And sometimes Marcus thought that was the most dangerous thing of all. Marcus Hale woke up to the sound of metal humming. For a moment he did not know where he was. His body ached in a dull, deep way, like every muscle had been used too hard. The air smelled sharp and clean, not like the damaged sector. Light glowed softly above him. He opened his eyes. He was lying on a narrow medical platform. Smooth bands of light moved slowly over his chest and arms, scanning him. The room was small but clean, built from dark material that reflected no glare. "You are awake," a calm voice said. Marcus turned his head carefully. Commander Zyrekel stood near the wall, her armor removed except for a chest plate. Without full armor, she still looked powerful but less distant, more real. "Am I alive?" Marcus asked. "Yes," she said, though several tribunal members were disappointed. Marcus smiled weakly. "Figures." He tried to sit up and immediately regretted it. Pain flared along his side. "Do not rise yet," Zyrekel said. "Your body sustained microfractures and stress damage." "I didn't feel that heroic," Marcus muttered. "Heroism is not a Karesh concept," she replied. "Endurance is." That caught his attention. "Did I pass?" he asked. Zyrekel did not answer right away. She walked closer, her steps slow and measured. "The tribunal is divided," she said. "That alone is unprecedented." Marcus let his head fall back onto the platform. "I'm guessing that's bad." "It is dangerous," she said, "for you and for us." She activated a wall display. Images appeared, recordings from the damaged sector. Marcus saw himself bracing supports, opening the blast door, pulling civilians through falling debris. The angle changed. Another view showed him stumbling, refusing to let go of someone who could not walk on their own. "These images have spread beyond the tribunal," Zyrekel said. "Other species are watching." Marcus stared at the screen. "I didn't know it was being recorded." "Everything is recorded," she replied, "but not everything is noticed." She turned to face him fully. "You confuse us, Marcus Hale." "That seems to be my main skill," he said. "You did not assert dominance," she continued. "You did not seek glory. You did not attempt to earn favor." "I was just trying to help," Marcus said simply. "That answer," Zyrekel said, "is the problem," she explained as they waited. Among the Karesh, worth was proven through challenge, strength, control. The ability to stand above others without hesitation. Compassion existed, but it followed hierarchy. One protected those beneath them, not strangers. Marcus's actions broke that structure. "He endangered himself for those with no value to his survival," she said. "That is either weakness or something far more dangerous." Marcus frowned. "Dangerous how?" "Because it spreads," she said. The door opened and two tribunal guards entered. They were less rigid than before. One of them glanced at Marcus with open curiosity. "You are summoned," one guard said, "both of you." They moved through corridors Marcus had never seen. Higher levels, observation decks, places built not for function but for judgment. The tribunal chamber was larger than before. More figures stood present, not only Karesh, but representatives of other species as observers. The air felt heavy with attention. Marcus stood at the center again, though this time he was allowed to remain seated on a low platform. Zyrekel stood beside him, not behind. A senior tribunal member stepped forward. "Marcus Hale of Earth," the elder said, "you were given a chance to prove intent. You acted outside all expected behavior." Marcus nodded. "That seems fair." "Your actions reduced loss of life," the elder continued. "Including non-Karesh lives." "Yes," Marcus said. "Explain why." Marcus took a breath. This felt more important than anything he had said before. "Where I come from," he said slowly, "we learned a long time ago that survival alone isn't enough. If we only protect our own, we shrink. If we only care about rank, we fall apart. Helping others doesn't make us weaker. It reminds us who we are." The chamber was silent. Another tribunal member spoke. Your species is physically fragile compared to many here. Yes, Marcus said, we know, and yet you put yourself in danger repeatedly. Yes. Why do humans accept such risk? Marcus thought about Earth, about crowded cities, disasters, people running toward danger instead of away from it. Because someone has to, he said. And if we can, we should. The elder turned to Zyrakel. Commander, you observe this human directly. State your judgment. Zyrakel did not hesitate. Marcus Hale did not challenge me, she said. He did not insult me. He did not seek to rise above me. He acted with intent to preserve life, even at personal cost. Under strict law, he should still die. Marcus's stomach tightened. But under truth, she continued, executing him would be an admission that our law cannot adapt. A low sound moved through the chamber. Shock. Anger, unease. The human did not bend to our customs, Zyrakel said. He revealed their limits. The elder studied her for a long moment. You defend him strongly, the elder said. I defend reality, Zyrakel replied. The tribunal withdrew to deliberate. Minutes passed. Then longer. Marcus sat quietly, hands folded, heart pounding. He did not look at the observers, but he could feel their attention. Finally, the tribunal returned. The charge of dominance challenge is dismissed, the elder announced. The human Marcus Hale will live. Marcus let out a shaky breath. However, the elder continued, this incident has consequences. Humanity will be reclassified, the word echoed. From non-threat, the elder said, to adaptive variable. Marcus blinked. That sounds ominous. It is, the elder replied. You will be released, but your species will be watched. The chamber slowly emptied. Observers whispered. Some looked impressed. Others looked afraid. Zyrakel escorted Marcus out personally. You changed nothing, Marcus said quietly as they walked. I just acted how I always would. She looked at him. That is exactly why everything changed. They stopped at a viewport overlooking the station. Stars drifted beyond the transparent barrier. Do you regret it? She asked. Marcus thought about the fear, the pain, the risk. No, he said, I'd do it again. Zyrakel nodded once. Then the galaxy should prepare, she said, because there are more like you. Marcus smiled faintly. Yeah, he said, there really are. Somewhere deep in the station's systems, reports were being filed. Assessments rewritten. Warnings quietly issued. Humanity had not arrived with weapons or fleets. They had arrived with something harder to measure and far harder to stop.